For thousands of years, humans have gazed up at the night sky, filled with wonder and curiosity. Questions have swirled in our minds. What lies beyond what we can see? Are there limits to the universe? Are all the stars the same, or are they different? If some stars are the same, could some have evolved differently from others? Are there other planets like Earth? If so, what are they like? Welcome to Flashy First Facts channel. We answer the question, how do telescopes see planets and stars? Before we start, if you are new to the channel, please like and activate the bell to receive new videos. For a long time, these questions remained unanswered. But thanks to a stroke of luck and the ingenuity of human minds, a device was invented that would open a window into the secrets of the cosmos, the role of telescopes. In essence, a telescope is a device that can capture a large amount of light. The more light it can gather, the clearer the objects it observes become. Its operation is based on either lenses or mirrors. Use of lenses and mirrors has been around for thousands of years. The Greek physicist Archimedes, for example, used a large concave lens to focus sunlight onto enemy ships during the siege of Syracuse, effectively disabling them for several years. The birth of telescopes. But who is credited with laying the scientific foundation for the invention of the telescope? It is none other than the Muslim scholar Hassan ibn al-Haytham, who was the first to discuss how we see things. He was among the first to write about mirrors and lenses, authoring numerous books, articles, and scientific treatises, totaling over 80 works. Among them was his book, The Optics, in which he discussed optics and light in detail, criticizing and correcting the prevailing misconceptions about vision that had been held since ancient Greece. Ibn al-Haytham was also the first to assert that vision occurs based on the amount of light reflected or emitted from objects onto the eye, not the other way around. Previously, it was believed that vision involved rays emanating from the eye to see objects. Inspired by his theories, scientists later conceived the idea of creating a device that could capture large amounts of light from distant objects, such as planets, stars, and moons. The first telescopes. The first rudimentary form of a telescope appeared in 1608 AD at the hands of Dutch spectacle maker Hans Lippershey. It was a matter of pure chance that he made this discovery while examining two lenses held one behind the other. Lippershey noticed that objects, for some reason, appeared much larger than normal. Based on this observation, he constructed a primitive telescope, and people began using his invention to see details of distant objects to an unprecedented degree. News of the invention spread throughout Europe. In April 1609, Lippershey's invention began to be sold as a long-distance eyepiece. However, shortly thereafter, astronomer and physicist Galileo Galilei began his attempts to build his own telescope using the same lens method. This marked a significant breakthrough in the field of telescopes. Galileo succeeded in magnifying his telescope 3 times, which was considered a huge number at the time. By October of the same year, he had completed a telescope with a magnification of 20 times, which was a phenomenal leap in the history of astronomy. Although its magnification power was not enormous, it was sufficient to explore the moon and nearby planets. Galileo was indeed able to see the planet Jupiter and its moons, as well as the moon in all its detail. One of his most important discoveries was that during his observations of Venus, he noticed that its shape changed from night to night and from week to week. He eventually concluded that these different phases were evidence that it revolved around the sun, just like Earth, thus confirming the heliocentric theory. Kepler's telescope. In 1611, the renowned astronomer Johannes Kepler made further contributions to the telescope by using 2 specific lenses, replacing the previous design of a convex and a concave lens. Kepler's design is still in use today, albeit with some modifications and improvements. How telescopes work. The basic principle of a telescope's operation can be broken down into 2 steps. Gathering light. The first step is to gather as much light as possible inside the telescope. The telescope's ability to gather light depends primarily on the diameter of the lens or mirror being used. The larger the aperture of the lens, the more light the telescope collects, and the clearer the final image, magnifying the image. The second step, which is no less important than the first, is for the telescope to magnify the image to a size that the eye can see clearly. This is achieved using a magnifying lens. The magnifying lens specifically takes the light from the lens or mirror and enlarges it to occupy a larger area of the retina, in the same way that a simple magnifying glass works when we use it. If you like the video, don't forget to like and share. And the people who saw us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you next time.